Thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we've got some brand spanking new, that one hurt, Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, what's been going on this week for Destiny 2? Well, Bungie definitely did some stuff, let's just say, that didn't sit right with a lot of the community. So, on the Tuesday weekly reset, a couple of things happened. We have the launch of the Master Difficulty Raid and the first Raid Challenge, but we also had the launch of Grandmaster Nightfalls. And this was actually a big deal, guys, because it's double Nightfall loot, and it's increased Vanguard reputation, and the Nightfall reward is the new Scintillation Linear Fusion Rifle, which is arguably like the best new linear in the game. It is a fantastic weapon, so absolutely, guys, if you haven't done the Grandmaster, I've done a guide on how to do so. Check it out, it's linked up above. But even if you're not doing the Grandmaster, just farming some Nightfalls is going to be well worth it this week. But continuing from there, we also had a hotfix go live, and this is where the problem started. Now, it contained fixes and changes to a variety of things. For example, they removed surges from raids and dungeons in this hotfix. But the one patch note that caused all the problems was this right here. For the Dual Destiny exotic mission, they fixed an issue where it was possible to earn double exotic class items. So in case you don't know, if you're doing Dual Destiny and both players grabbed the same class item at the same time and then went out of bounds, loaded back in, they could grab the other one, doubling your exotic class item drops. And when I first read this, I was disappointed, but the more I think about it, the more annoyed I get. Bungie has absolutely killed any reason there is to play one of the best pieces of content they've added in years. Let me rant here for a second. Okay. Once you beat Dual Destiny for the first time, you unlock the ability for exotic class items to spawn in any chest within the Pale Heart, which means you can wander around a public event space, eating a burrito, watching Netflix in the background, and just opening chests and farming these exotic class items. It's not like they were unbelievably hard to get and locked behind this one activity. Why are you punishing the people who would find a teammate, perfect their loadout, get the Eager Edge sword on, learn the skips, just to farm it efficiently and then get double drops? It's not even like you were getting so much drops, it was ridiculous. I was trying to get a specific role for my Titan. I streamed it. I was farming Dual Destiny, doing the double loot glitch for 7.5 hours before I got the drop I wanted. So if I would have only gotten one drop each time, that's 15 hours of farming to get the role I actually wanted. Hey, yes, I know it's a glitch, but when you have something so dependent on RNG with zero dupe protection or anything like that, at least let us actually have this one glitch that makes getting these items somewhat efficient. Again, it's not even that efficient. Most people watching, you still are trying to get certain roles, and months from now, you'll probably still not have all the roles you may want. So again, it's just like, it wasn't even that game breaking. You still had to farm Dual Destiny with double glitches for hours and hours and hours and days sometimes to get the roles you wanted. Why are we doing this? Like what is the point? What are we accomplishing here? I don't get it. Anyways, moving on from there, guys, we have some pretty juicy new information within the TWAB. But just before we get into that, dude, you can buy a MiG-21 apparently.
You mean the jet?
Yeah, the fighter jet.
What do you need a MiG-21 for?
What do I need to make? What don't I need the MiG-21 for? Dude, the sky is literally the limit with a MiG-21.
If you want to fly a MiG-21, just play War Thunder.
What? War Thunder? Alright, so apparently you can't just go around dropping Hellfire missiles on your neighbor's hideous shed in real life, but at least you can challenge that guy to a dogfight in War Thunder. Guys, this is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, with over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 major nations, ranging from the biplanes of the 1920s all the way to the fighter jets of today. And all of this is available for free on PC and consoles. And I mean, War Thunder has a worldwide community of over 70 million players. Why? Well, fighter jets are cool, tanks are cool, battleships are cool, and being able to have epic PvP battles where you can delve into breathtaking experiences with all of these different vehicles, That is War Thunder. It's an unmatched wealth of high quality content, and there's no game better suited for fans of military history. If that sounds good to you, click the link in the description down below. And if you do make a new account or sign in with an old account that hasn't been active for 6 months, you're going to get a bonus pack with 3 premium vehicles and all these other awesome goodies. Guys, absolutely click that link. Alright, now the first thing Bungie talks about is actually Echoes Act 2, because this week another thing that made players not too happy is that Act 1 actually came to an end. Like at the weekly reset, when you went and did the weekly story quest from Failsafe, it ended. Like next week, there's gonna be nothing. The week after that, there's gonna be nothing. And I did see quite a few posts on Twitter from players kind of disappointed by this, saying, you know, we were told that this new episodic layout would reduce the amount of dead time, and we already have dead time 3 weeks after this episode launched. I mean, with a normal season, you have that, you know, weekly storyline quest going on for many, many weeks. Now, in fairness to Bungie, things will absolutely pick up when Act 2 starts on July 16th. So Bungie has a little blurb about this saying, you know, we found something that is not quite right on Nessus. The revelations of Act 1 will drive your investigation even further into Nessus in Act 2 when it launches on July 16th. And importantly, they actually say we'll be hosting a developer live stream ahead of time to preview new content that's coming. We'll have more details on the timing of the live stream for you soon. So, like, it's gonna really be interesting. We've never had this before within Destiny, this like act system within an episode. How much content is Act 2 really going to add? If it's something like a new activity, you know, all could be forgiven. This could really be awesome. But right now, players were kind of left a little bit dangling in the wind going, you know, it kind of ended unceremoniously, and we expected maybe a little bit more out of Act 1. Again, we'll have to see how juicy Act 2 and Act 3 really are. But moving on from there, guys, Bungie says to celebrate the end of Echoes Act 1, they're going to be hosting a competition. So they say this is a call for artists everywhere to represent their favorite moment during Echoes Act 1. An epic fight against the Vex? Check. And they continue. Now, you can submit your art with the hashtag Echoes AOTW, and you can win this very exclusive emblem. Moving on from there, guys, we have a PvP Strike Team update. First of all, they have some stuff about the Iron Banner, which is going to be launching next week, so this upcoming Tuesday, and some huge news right off the bat, guys. They say to begin with, Iron Banner will now be a 2-week event and the main PvP focus for that time. Wow, so literally doubling the amount of time Iron Banner is around. Now they say players will still be able to earn rewards, climb ranks, and hone their PvP skills with one game mode during this first week, and then another game mode for the second. In this first iteration of Iron Banner for Echoes, the first game mode available is Control, and the second one is Tribute. They say in Season 23, we experimented with a system that enabled players to select from either Control or the rotating game mode, Fortress Eruption or Tribute. Whenever Iron Banner was active, players being able to choose which game mode they wanted to play was nice to have, but it was a departure from how we had previously handled these modes, and splitting the player base in half had a negative effect on matchmaking times. Now, they continue and say there will be 2 weapons added to the Iron Banner during Echoes. The first weapon is the renewed Kramil's Dagger. It's still a kinetic aggressive hand cannon, but now it comes with a bump to its stats and perks like Precision Instrument or Kill Clip. The other weapon available is Claws of the Wolf, a rapid fire frame Void Pulse Rifle with fan favorite perks like Head Seeker and Zen Moment, although the new perks like To the Pain are worth checking out too. And then they say getting many rolls for these weapons will be easier too. You'll still need to unlock them first to drop by getting ranks 4 and 7 with Saladin, but then you'll have a good chance to earn them as post-match rewards. Wins now guarantee a random Iron Banner weapon, while also having a very high chance to reward an Iron Banner engram on top of that. As for defeats, both weapon drops and engrams have a higher drop rate too, so you can either get the role you're chasing as a random drop or by focusing an engram at Saladin, so that's definitely some good news. And then after that, we actually have a mid-episode sandbox update. So first of all, for the Kvostov, which is kind of taking over in the Crucible. Now, as for its recoil, they say there was actually a bug where they tried to give the special ricochet round a 50% reduction in recoil, but it applied to the entire magazine, so it effectively gave Kvostov maximum stability. So they're going to be fixing that bug, but they're going to be increasing the base stability by 30 to 72, kind of giving it a middle ground. So it's going to recoil more, but it's not going to be as ridiculous as completely just changing the bug. Now, also for the ricochet shots, they say, while bouncing shots are fun for PvE, they're proving to be problematic for balance in PvP. So what they're doing is that they want to avoid impacting PvE with this change, so they will have reduced the initial bonus impact damage against players only from 15% to 5%. We've also reduced the bouncing bullet damage against players from 18.4 to 4.6 damage, leaving PvE unchanged. Moving on from there, the Red Death is also getting hit. So they say for the recoil, they say lurking just under the Kvostov coated surface of our current weapons meta is the Red Death. And essentially they say that the Red Death has too little recoil because it actually uses an auto rifle recoil style, so they're going to change that. It should have more recoil after this update. Then, oh boy, for the Speaker's Sight exotic helmet, this thing is absolutely busted, like the best healing build ever, frankly. And they say for orb generation, as it stands, it is currently too easy to generate an extreme number of orbs in the Crucible using this exotic. This plays into several different build crafting levers and is making it feel like the only choice in many competitive and trials lobbies. So they will be disabling the orb generation portion of this exotic in Crucible only. Longer term, they're going to revisit how many things orbs you can create. So there you go, some 3 nerfs to 3 big meta things. Moving on from there, for the future, they say the changes to Iron Banner and the sandbox are not the only things we have planned. We'll have more to talk about before the mid-episode patch, so keep an eye out for that. We don't want to give too much away while things are still in flux, but we've got several quality of life features to roll out, a Destiny 2 reprised map coming out next episode, some UI updates to help with clarity, and a big feature that we're heads down working on for our 3rd episode. We can't wait to share with you all. Huh? That's pretty interesting. But moving on from there, guys, a few last things. The end of the cosplay Cosmodrome happened yesterday, and Bungie wrote a whole article on that, which is of course linked in the TWAB, which is linked in the description of this video. Moving on from there, it is Pride Month, and Bungie has a bunch of different collectibles and things that you can buy and donate for within the Bungie store. After that, we do also have some emblems that you can get for free, as you can see right here. Moving on from there, the next installment of the Bungie Bounty for Good returns actually today, and you can see the information right here. And then, guys, the last thing to talk about is next week. Bungie does say they're not going to be publishing the TWID on the Thursday, July 4th, because it's a national holiday in the States. It's going to be published the Friday, July 5th. So if you're wondering where the heck is the Destiny news, it'll be a day after. And so that's going to be it for the video, but just before we end, and guys, one more time, don't forget to check out War Thunder, epic battles with tanks, helicopters, fighter jets, battleships, all from centuries of combat, is only 1 click away down in the description below. Definitely check it out. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. If we did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.